Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Today we will just be discussing, of course, some Steelers news and updates. As you guys have seen from the title, we're going to start off first with Big Ben Roethlisberger. He said, kind of like weighs in and kind of speculates on potential shift in the coaching staff. He said Big Ben said like who would be the scapegoat in the coaching staff, and what he was saying in a way is actually true, because it's like the Steelers are bringing everybody back. So it's like he said that feels like you're happy with what you have and you're trying to bring everybody back. So you're just not happy with now what you have and performing like that. So basically you're gonna be somebody. I think Terrell Austin probably is the person. Terrell Austin probably the person, because the defense has struggled under him, and he needs to be changed out anyway. If it was me, I would change out not only Terrell Austin but also Arthur Smith as well. See how things is. I try to get somebody who I know can coach on their team and be innovative. Arthur Smith had moments, of course, but maybe he was handcuffed because Russ couldn't do a lot in certain aspects of certain stuff, because he was not really super mobile as well like that. He kept missing things. He was only going for the deep ball or the dump off like that. But maybe that's why. But I would prefer like us to utilize the middle of the field a lot more. And Arthur Smith, and he did that a little bit early on, but then he stopped doing it at the end of the year when you actually need to be able to move the ball and be able to convert on third downs. Our conversion percentage was way down on third down. We wasn't running the football like we once was at first either, and we just started playing a little weird and stagnant. The protection for our quarterback, and also the run blocking and scheme as well like that. Everything just seemed like it was just stagnant. It kind of got stale, kind of like the last year's Steelers, and it was like looking kind of like that same storyline a little bit when Matt Canada was there before he got fired, of course. But I think the Steelers definitely will have somebody they get rid of, because you can't go into the season like, okay, well, everything's perfectly fine. We just go into the season. That means you're happy about what happened. So I do agree with Big Ben with that. So they do have to get rid of somebody. Coach Tomlin is staying. Like I mentioned before, I said Coach Tomlin, I didn't mind him coming back, because he's a good coach. It just he hasn't been coaching good the past few years. He's been coaching good enough to get us by, but he hasn't been coaching great like we know he can coach great. He's a great coach. He can coach great, but I feel like he got a little comfortable. He always say never see comfort, but I think he got a little comfortable the past few years. So I think him coming back this year, the way he's been talking, the way Mr. Rooney been talking, I hope he's not just saying it, because the action speaks louder than words. You can say one thing and do another. We see it all the time in the world today like that. You say one thing and then you do something else. So I think it'd be better if, of course, Coach Tomlin, actually do what he says. Be like, hey, I'm gonna try to revamp everything, try to switch some stuff up like that. It's not working this way, so come back and revamp the whole everything like that. Maybe take an approach where you take a seat back and bring in maybe a veteran defensive coordinator like that. Bring somebody, a veteran defensive coordinator in, somebody who's up there like that and status a little bit, who's a good defensive coordinator to bring in for your team. Bring that person in and see what happens like that, and then also see how things shape out with the course offensive coordinator stuff, Arthur Smith, and see how things go, and then bring some other staff members to fix some stuff up. Offensive line coach might need to be replaced as well. There's some different things in there like that to kind of help the team bolster up. Sometimes change can help bring a little spark, sometimes like that, especially around and stuff, and different approach can be a little different for people. So I do agree with that, what Big Ben was saying. Also want to discuss, of course, Mr. Rooney. He basically stating that the Steelers are going to either choose Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. He's saying like it's going to be either or. It's not going to be both. Like the way he kind of like make the statement a little bit. He's saying it's going to be either or. So we got to figure out who's going to be. Is it going to be Russell Wilson? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Who's going to be the person? Who's going to be the person out there? Like who's going to be our quarterback one for next year? And I think the most logical answer is Justin Fields, in my opinion, because he's on the younger side of things and he has more upside. We haven't yet to see his full potential. And if it doesn't work out, you don't have to pay him as much as you have to pay Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is getting older. He's not getting any younger, and he is who he is like that. So you think you have enough, or you think you did enough last year to help you win, then you bring him back. But in my opinion, I think he did a pretty good job. He wasn't horrible, and he wasn't great either, but he was pretty good. Pretty good with like, okay, he can help us win 10, 11 games, but is it enough to get you over that hump in the playoffs? And then once you retire, you can be in the same boat trying to find another quarterback. How about you bring Justin Fields in with a little more upside? If it works out, then you're good. You're like, okay, we can extend them even longer like that. It's working out. Justin Fields helped us get over this hump. He bring a different element to our offense. Or if it doesn't work out, you're like, okay, well, then we can just move on because we didn't pay him as much as we're going to pay Russell Wilson like $30 million a year. So I think the Steelers should go and approach Justin Fields, and you overload on the offensive side. You add weapons. My suggestion, like I mentioned many times, I mentioned on my live stream yesterday on the Arsenal D.B channel. You can go watch that. I was saying the Steelers should bring in not only Darius Slayton, but Chris Godwin as well. Bring both guys in. Bring both individuals in. Bring both of those individuals in like that. That would help out a lot with GP. And you see how things kind of shape out. And then you might get draft a receiver maybe later round, like 5th, 6th round, something like that. Depending on what you pick, how many picks you got to look at all our picks. But then it'll clear up a lot of things as well when you get to the draft. You know, you can focus on other positions that you can feel, like nose tackle, unless you feel it in free agency. You know, like I mentioned, Milton Williams will be a great addition. But there's also a guy in the draft, Ohio State, Talik Jackson. Of course, Mason Graham would be great, but I doubt we'd be able to get him because he might be gone like not week 5, but pick 5, he might be gone. So he might be already off the board. So, but it's a lot of different individuals you can get like that. You can bring in cornerbacks as well. Will Johnson might be available up there. I don't know if he might be top 10 pick, but you never know. It might fall to 20 or something like that. You bring in a top corner like that, especially if you don't have to get receiver first round, you can do that. Offensive tackle, maybe bring a guy in 2nd round, 3rd round, just for more depth purposes, just in case like that, because injuries do happen like that. So just doing different things like that to bring more dynamic to your team. So the Steelers answer a lot of these needs in free agency. Go out there and spend some money. Sometimes you gotta pay. Sometimes you might have to overpay a little bit more. But you are the Steelers, so you still a team that consistently get to the playoffs. You might not win the playoffs, but you get consistently there. So that might be a little pool as well. And a lot of people do let to play for Coach Tomlin. So how about you go out there and you spend some money, try to bring some guys in to try to get this team going. So I do understand what Mr. Rooney is saying. We can't keep both. You gotta choose Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, and say he prioritized either or. Like that, Rooney says unlikely the team bring back both quarterbacks. He said I wouldn't close the door, but I say it's probably unlikely. Rooney said Monday. He said I think both of them see themselves as starters, and I don't know that they want to share the same job again next year. So I would say most likely we probably don't wind up bringing them both back, which is understandable, of course. So we'll see exactly what the Steelers do with that situation. You definitely gotta make a change, of course, to the coaching staff. They probably address it maybe after the season commences, something like that. The Steelers like to do things a little later, so they probably address it eventually. But we'll see exactly what happens. I keep seeing, of course, people keep bringing up the bad QB suggestions for the Steelers. It's another one too as well. It's Matthew Stafford is on the list. They said that Steelers should trade for Matthew Stafford. Man, don't be wrong, Matthew Stafford now, like, he's not on the same boat as Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers. He's playing better than them, of course. He's still able to go out there and be capable. But you are seeing the decline in his health and decline in his play a little bit as well. He's a little older too, so I wouldn't be intrigued to trade for Matthew Stafford. I'm like, there's no point in doing that. What they're going to change? Not going to change anything. Matthew Stafford is 36 years old, turned 37 in February 7th. And then you got his numbers from last year: 20 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. 93 passer rating, 3,700 passing yards. Basically the same as Russell Wilson last year, the number wise. You know, passing passing yards, touchdown interception ratio, and passer rating. Basically the same as Russell Wilson, and also with less rushing yards because Matthew Stafford's a statue in the pocket. And the following year before that, he had 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and then he was injured year before that. And then the other year like that was the one he won the Super Bowl when he threw 41 touchdowns and 17 picks. But he's on the decline. I don't think the Steelers should be able to. I don't think the Steelers will trade for him. That'd be kind of a pointless and a reckless decision, and it'd be a foolish decision. Just roll with what you got. I mentioned Justin Fields, and if you're going to just bring back an old quarterback, just bring Russell Wilson back, and you're going to bring a veteran in. But Justin Fields is probably the best suggestion, the best person to get out there who's don't cost us any draft compensation, who's just costs us just some money to just bring him back and sign. So that's probably the best suggestion right there. But we'll see exactly what they do. That's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. I will be back later for a video breaking down another draft prospect player for the Steelers to potentially draft. So be on the lookout for that. But I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace out.